Thank you so much for checking out this free video. If you don't mind, please click like and subscribe.
Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. This is a good example of where the crowd knew exactly who they hated and who they loved and who they were supposed to cheer for, and cheer for that man they did. They loved Will Ospreay. They hated Kyle Fletcher, and that's just about that. So very early on, Fletcher tears the kinesio tape away from Ospreay's neck. It's a mighty, mighty brainbuster on the floor. We see these sometimes. The guys, kind of drop to their ass and roll. The guy takes the move as a somersault. This looked like it felt awful for both men involved. Super violent floor brainbuster. Every time Will gets a hope spot, Kyle targets that neck, smacks him in the neck, or drops him in the neck, or whatever. Really making the neck the emphasis. They start trading chops. The crowd loves this machismo, but Kyle suckers him into a super kick instead. He's a dick. They take turns countering everything. Fletcher gets a last ride for 2, and this place is going crazy. I say crazy. Will keeps trying the Oscutter. Kyle keeps blocking it, and so Will goes to option number 2, a tombstone on the floor, which in fact sets something up even later. They're having this awesome match, and then something very annoying happened that is not the fault of either guy involved. They suddenly say, "Hey, Continental Classic starts Wednesday. Stay tuned to social media and Selection Sunday when we will announce the participants in this tournament."
Pretty vague.
That sucks.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to spend my... In fact, I haven't. It's been all day Sunday. I have not paid attention to AEW social media.
Well, they've been released. I haven't seen them yet.
I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
And didn't even watching the show didn't occur to me to check. Back to the match. It's awesome. So Will's getting desperate. He starts fighting dirty. He's slapping and smacking Kyle on the apron. Tries a Stormbreaker out there, but Kyle turns into a... They had pulled the stairs like next to the ring, and Kyle grabs Will, jumps off the apron, does a jumping tombstone onto the stairs. And they made this count. And it wasn't like a stretcher angle, which would have been 40 years ago. But this was really the point the match ended, if we're being honest. Kyle refuses to win by countout, throws Will back in the ring, does a kneeling pile driver where one of Will's arms is just hanging totally loose, just hanging limp in the air, drops him on his head, but still kicks out. Fletcher laughs this off. Ospreay tries another comeback. He hits the hidden blade, but there's absolutely no juice behind it. Fletcher no-sells it. Ospreay collapses. And finally, after no-selling a few more things, Fletcher does 2 big running kicks in the corner. The El Generico brainbuster. He makes a cover, and the referee counts to 3.
Yes.
Kyle Fletcher pinned Will Ospreay clean.
Not only pinned him clean, dude.
Destroyed him.
He beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
This was the singles match version of the Young Bucks and Private Party. It was just a guy decided, I'm going to make this guy a star in one night. I'm going to put him over like fucking crazy in an incredible match. And it had the best heat of anything on the show. Maybe with the exception of Big Boom, AJ, and QT. But honestly, this had better heat. And I just watched it, and when it was over, all I could think was Kyle Fletcher needs to beat Okada in the finals of the Continental Classic and win that tournament. And, it's time for him to be the man. And I learned moments ago on the chat that Fletcher and Okada are in the same block. Because, of course, they are.
An issue.
So, anyway, you got to follow this up, dude.
Yeah.
This was awesome. An incredible match. Mm-hmm. Everything they do, they're like, Kyle Fletcher's now at the level of we're talking when Ospreay and Kenny Omega. There are 2 guys where you can imagine any move in the world, they'll do it. It's like a video game.
Yeah.
I want this person to do a jumping tombstone off the apron onto steel steps. Okay, we're going to do it. All this shit they can do. And not only that, it all looks fucking amazing. Like that brainbuster on the floor, it's picture perfect. I mean, you couldn't have done a better every move. I said this about Will Ospreay over a year ago. It's like the thing about Ospreay is he does all sorts of moves. Lots of other people do the same moves he does. But every move he does it better than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And Fletcher is he was right there with him the entire time. This was just incredible. This is the best thing on the show by miles.
So you mentioned the important thing is the follow-up here and what they should do with Fletcher in the tournament and all that. Is Will Ospreay ever going again to be like a real, honest to God, AEW main eventer.
Well, someday.
He had one title shot against Swerve. He lost and has been, I mean, it's not like he's disappeared or been buried or anything, but it just feels like every time they should pull the trigger on him, they don't. And I have a plan with Moxley.
I do not think the plan is Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay would be a perfect person to beat Jon Moxley, but the problem is the Jon Moxley story is that it has to be somebody from day one.
Okay.
It has to be an AEW original, and that is not Will Ospreay. Yeah. So for the time being, Ospreay needs to do something else.
He's just treading water.
So he's feuding with Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. Which will be more great matches, so that's cool.
Great.
Mark Davis runs out in his latest wacky street clothes ensemble to check on Will. And I thought he was doomed, but Fletcher and Callis just walked away. They did not interfere with him at all.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.